very first podcast of Tai Yoga USA. With me is Marcus Grimmage, yoga teacher, and Sifu Lester, Tai Chi master. Combat Tai Chi. And I'm your host, Dr. George Love, Grandmaster of Qigong, also known as the Blue Dragon Qigong. So, a lot of people ask the question, should I start with yoga? Should I start with Tai Chi? Should I start with Qigong? Is one better than the other? Is one more effective? Do I get faster results with one or the other? Where should I start? So, we're here to tell you, we're here to answer all those questions for you. So, Sifu Lester and I have been friends for more than 10 years. And I've taken his Tai Chi classes, he's taken my Qigong classes, and Marcus Grimmage is a former MMA fighter who has now graduated to yoga and Kung Fu martial arts and is a new Qigong student.
Yes.
And Tai Chi.
Yeah, Blue Dragon, Qigong, Tai Chi 360, and also shout out to the Lost Legacy.
Lost Legacy Kung Fu.
Other side, yeah. Yes.
So we want to start out today with some definitions, just to give you a background and an understanding of what we are dealing with and what you could benefit from. So the first thing we talk about is prana. So Marcus, would you like to describe what is prana?
Prana is described in Sanskrit as life force. So, but it's actually the breath. And in yoga, there's something called pranayama, which is breath control or life force control. And during that training, you are utilizing the breath to go throughout your body to stimulate it, to even actually heal it in certain cases.
To heal it?
Heal it.
Okay. So in Tai Chi Chuan, what does the Qi represent?
Well, just to piggyback off of what Marcus said, Qi, according to Tai Chi principle, and it may vary according to who you speak with, but Qi, we break it down into prenatal Qi, meaning the Qi that we were born with or that we received from our parents in our DNA. And then there's also postnatal Qi that we acquire from our practices such as Qigong, breathing in the fresh prana. We get it from the air. Also, we get it from our food. So those will be the postnatal ways of acquiring Qi, through the food and also from our parents.
Oh. Okay. And then there are 17 definitions of Qi, depending upon the context. So there's the Qi that goes through the chest that we call Zhong Qi. And then there's the Qi that goes through the blood. And then there's the Qi that flows through the meridians. And then, of course, there is the Qi from food. And then there's cosmic Qi. So Qi is literally translated as breath, as pranayama is also translated as breath. So I want to make a little distinction here. When we oxygenate the blood is the actual breath, but it is the movements of Tai Chi, it is the movements of yoga, and it is the movements of Qigong that allow us to store the Qi. Now, there's a reservoir called the conception vessel. I call it the reception vessel, and the governing vessel. So the conception vessel stores yin Qi, and the governing vessel stores yang Qi.
So what's the difference between the yin and the yang Qi?
That's an excellent question.
Okay.
So yang is active, aggressive, outgoing. So yang would be martial. And then yin would be gathering, nurturing, comforting Qi. That's the restorative Qi. So breathing and meditation would be yin chi, and training would be yang chi.
Yeah. So sometimes in martial arts or like even boxing, you're taught to exhale or push the air out like at the end of your punches or you know. So is that what you're talking about, like something like?
That would be yang chi. The exhale would be the yang chi.
There we go.
And the yin chi would be the inhale.
Gotcha.
So let me ask a question in regards to that. So would it be fair to say that, like you mentioned, we acquire the chi from the air, from the food, from the universe, from the cosmos. So once that chi enters our body, would it be fair to say that the different types of movement that we use is used to mobilize the chi?
That is exactly what happens. So there's chi from heaven, there's chi from earth, there's cosmic chi, there's ancestral chi, and there's chi from food and water. So there's 5 sources of chi. So the chi from heaven and earth meet in the kidneys, cosmic chi in the lungs, food and water in the stomach. So then we coalesce the cosmic, the food and water, and the heaven, earth, and ancestral 4 fingers below the belly button. And we call that Jing Chi, or essence Chi. And then we mix that with true Chi, which is the oxygenated blood. And then we take it up to the mind, and then we mix it with Shen Chi.
Right.
And Shen Chi is mental, intention, focus, and will. So that's what we call the 3 treasures: Jing, Qi, and Shen.
Gotcha.
So when you perform Tai Chi Chuan, you're mixing that energy, and then you're able to express it in terms of what we call a hit. And in Qigong, we express it in terms of a healing.
So that's the difference between you guys, because both of you, because I'm Prana, but you guys are both Chi, correct?
That is correct.
They're correct?
Right.
So you just see it from a different, utilizing a different, what?
We're using the same. The points that heal can also kill. The points that kill can also heal.
So I was going to say, so they say in order to be a good martial artist, you should also study a healing art. And I'm sure you heard that. That's why you're on this journey, right? So as Dr. Love was saying, that it's the same energy, it's just the expression of the energy and how you use it, you know, the same points, you know, it's just how do you express that energy? Are you looking to heal, or are you looking to cause destruction? You know, but it's the same energy. A lot of people don't understand that.
I remember when I was rolling with, I was doing jiu-jitsu, but this guy had black belt in Aikido, and he was heavier than me, but he would make the game go by, he would just have trigger points in my wrist, and I had to like jump and move around to not have my wrist broken, you know, in order to maneuver. But I didn't understand what he was doing to me at the time, but I felt the pain though. The pain was real, even though I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
I understood the pain.
Well, that's called Chin Na.
Right.
And that's called locking. It's called joint locking. To be
Yes.
Right.
specific.
That's exactly what he was doing.
So when you lock the joint, then you are immobilized unless you know how to do a lateral or a circular way to get out of the joint lock.
Yeah.
So a good teacher will tell you how to get out of it as well, how to put somebody in it.
Nah, he didn't do the second part.
he just let you feel it.
Yeah, he just let me feel it. All right, shout out to the Macau brothers. That was
So Tai Chi, being a martial art, it kind of seems like it's kind of contradictory, because Tai Chi bears a lot of emphasis on the yin aspect and not the yang aspect, which is like completely different from the majority of the what we call physical martial arts, because we consider Tai Chi to be more of an internal art, right? And we believe in the power of weakness, which also sounds
Concentrate
The
to-
power of softness.
You can say that as well.
Because the soft overcomes the hard.
Right.
Water overcomes stone.
Right, right,
So the drip, drip, drip of water can wear away stone.
right.
But no matter how hard stone bangs water, water will not change.
That's it. That's so true.
So, when I was doing more research for this podcast, it talked about yoga being a Indian Hindu school of dualism. I thought that was cool because we talk about dualism all the time.
Right.
And I wasn't aware, but yeah, even in yoga, there's constant dualism because when you hold the asanas, you have to root down to rise.
Right, right, right.
So that's why I was like, so those like
I was gonna say, right.
contradictory terms like hot and cold, hard, soft,
Damp, dry,
Yes.
excess,
yes,
deficient.
Yes,
Right back to it.
In that, yes. And in that middle part, that's the
That's the balancing
Yeah.
point. That is the Tai Chi right there. That's the point to keep the antagonistic forces in compliance,
Yeah.
working together instead of against each other.
So and that's what it's all about because it's the same thing, same principle, but it's overlapping. Just school of dualism and balance. Through Qigong, through Tai Chi, through yoga.
So now, the word yoga means union.
Yoke.
Okay.
Union.
Pranayam is breathing exercise. Qigong is vitality exercise. Now, what does Chuan mean?
Chuan, now when we add the Chuan, we're talking about the actual fighting or fist.
Okay, so
So,
Chuan is fist.
Chuan is fist.
But Tai is supreme.
Right,
Tai Chi,
right,
so the supreme ultimate fist.
correct.
Now, the interesting thing is, before it's fist, it's an empty hand. And then, so you concentrate the chi when you make the fist. All right? So if I do this, the chi is going to flow through. But if I do this, the chi is concentrated.
Okay.
All right?
So now, like in fighting and boxing, like you always keep like a closed fist. That's why you have your hands taped.
Wrapped up, yeah.
Yeah, your hands are taped, so it could feel like a cast, like when you punch through. So you're saying all this time it's just like locked the whole time?
No, only at the last second. So when I learned martial arts, we came through like this, and then so
Upon
the
contact.
fist only came together at the last second.
There you go. And see, and that shows the difference between like certain arts because boxing, the fist is closed the
Yeah, the
entire
fist is closed
time.
the entire time. But we're taught,
Yeah.
okay? Now, you've got 5 fingers,
Yes.
and you have 5 acupuncture meridians.
Gotcha.
So you've got the lung, the large intestine, the pericardium, the triple heater, the small intestines, and the heart. So you have 2 meridians through the little finger. So there's 6 meridians. Those 6 meridians also go through the wrist, through the elbow, and through the shoulder. Now, they come from the chest. So when you go to extend your arm, that energy comes down, and then at the last second,
Point of impact where everything's connected.
point of impact where everything is connected. So the energy of your pectoral muscle, okay, that push, so your punch is not your arm.
Yes.
It's not the weight of your arm.
Yes.
It's the torque of the waist and the pressure from the foot across. So you have all this, so the connection to the earth, and that's what everybody seems to forget about, is there's an electromagnetic field from the earth that comes through your foot, through the center of the foot. So this point is called kidney 1. And then that ends here at the collarbone. So the kidney comes all the way up to the collarbone, and across. So your entire body weight could be concentrated right here. Okay? Now, if you will allow me to touch you, I'm going to do something that's going to increase his energy flow. Okay?
Yep. That will do it.
So this is what we call anatomy drumming. Okay? So the shoulder joint, there's 3 meridians here, and there's 3 meridians here. So I'm gonna do 8 times. Then I'm gonna do the elbow. And then I'm gonna do the wrist. Now tell me what you feel.
No, it feels loose and the blood has stimulated, and it's so funny because when you fight, you know, to wake up, you don't even understand. That's funny.
That's great. So that's what we call anatomy drumming, which is part of medical Qigong. Now, when you forget something and you remember it, what do? You go,
all right.
I just remembered. And we call that the face plant. But if you want to remember something in a hurry, you smack the sides of your head.
You cut the weave.
All right.
And then the back of the head is the parietal lobe, and that connects to proprioception, which is the movement, the visual, and the spatial organization in your brain. So if you do the back of the head, that increases blood flow that helps you with your movement. Now, the other fascinating thing, like I said, proprioception is a 50-cent word, which means visual, spatial, muscle integration in the brain. Now, the hip bones, if you bang the hip bones, that also integrates. Now, when you stand in horse stance, how do you stand? The hip bones are exposed, and you either stand like this or you stand like this. So the very stance integrates here to the base of the brain. So just standing in horse stance for 10 or 15 minutes every day increases your ability to move.
All right. So
Deep science.
in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we have all these leg drills, just like leg pummeling, where you sit there for hours, somebody grabs your leg and then you move in, somebody grabs your gig and then you move in.
Right.
So you so is it almost connected to? Is that basically almost the same thing? It's like a cross reference.
Well, that's a training method. That's an absolute training method.
Okay.
I was just talking about standing still. How you could develop that.
Oh,
But
will you get the same results from doing that training drill with it? Will you get the same benefits from doing that?
it would enhance it. By smacking the back of your head would enhance the training drill.
Okay. Gotcha.
So before I would do my groundwork, so I also studied Pencak Silat, which is an Indonesian martial art, and we did a knife drill, and so the instructor said, "Don't look at the knife." And I'm like, "You might get cut. What do you mean, don't look at the knife?" He said, "I feel safer on the ground with my hands behind me than I do standing up. So if somebody threatens me with a knife, I'm going to get down. And I'm going to use my legs to put him at a defense. He can't cut me." And I had a complete mind-blowing experience. Okay? So practice that with your jiu-jitsu next time.
Well, you do that in MMA, like if you bend over, a guy can go and kick you to the head, that's a actual technique, kicking up. Yes, sir. I will get you on that one. Oh.
So let's talk about the philosophy of yoga as opposed to, so Hatha yoga is a 6-part process of the asanas, the pranayam, do no harm, ahimsa, which is the things to avoid.
Yes.
Then cleansing.
So what you're referring to is the eight limb path, and you're right. The first 6 are the ones are the work that we have to do. There are like certain restraints to yourself, like I will not steal, I will not lie on others, stuff just to make you a good human being.
Right.
So those things, and the other one is simply what to do and what not to do. So those are like the first 2 is the niyamas and the yamas.
Okay.
So those are the first
The
2.
niyamas are the things not to do.
Yeah.
And the yamas are the what?
The things to do, the things you strive to be that will make you a better person.
Such as, just name one.
Not stealing.
No. One thing that you should do.
That you should do.
Yeah.
Oh, just be a courteous neighbor, being helpful this way.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Helpful. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So in Shaolin Qigong, there's the 5 precepts.
Okay.
Don't lie. Don't steal. Don't murder. Be of good cheer. Always be helpful. So we have the same 5 precepts as you do with the yamas.
Yes. Overlapping
And
principles.
the pranayam is the breathing exercises they do between the postures, which are called asanas.
Yes.
Okay? Now, what were the first 3 postures you learned?
Court pose, shavasana. That's like the best one, because that is when you simply just lay there. You relax and
Corpse pose.
Yes.
Or we call it mummy pose, but
Oh, so you have one too?
absolutely.
Oh.
The reason why we're doing
Wow.
this podcast is Indian, Chinese, Taoist, Buddhist, Tai Chi Chuan. They're all
Connected.
They're all interwoven. Okay? So I think we've gone a half an hour. If there's anything that you want to add?
Not really. Well, I could piggyback off of one thing you all were talking about, things that you should do. And it's funny, not because that principle actually overlaps over here once again, talking about the synergy. Our primary, when I say our, I'm talking about Tai Chi, Ren or Tai Chi people, man or woman. Our number one guiding philosophy is to help and do no harm. That's the number one guiding.
Do no harm.
Right.
Help others.
Right. Which seems kind of contradictory when you're talking about martial art. But, when it comes to Tai Chi on the very high level, you can actually end conflict without even hurting the person's feelings.
The best way to win a fight is not to fight.
Right. And that's what we strive for.
And the way that a Tai Chi Chuan player carries himself is such a powerful presence that other people who are emotionally unbalanced generally recognize it's not a good idea to poke the bear. And they will back down without having to get into a fight because of the way the Tai Chi Chuan player carries himself. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say, without a doubt. I must agree.
So, you are here listening to 3 experts, and this show is going to be once a week, every Monday. And we want you to be able to ask questions so you can find out the best way for you to proceed for your life. Now, Sifu Lester, you have private students.
I do.
How would they contact you if they want to become your student?
The best way to actually contact me currently is simply reach out to me on the Facebook, Lester Holmes on the Facebook. That's the best means right now.
Okay. And you are teaching yoga where?
At Yoga Home, you can follow us at Hot Yoga Home. Also me at Brim205 on Instagram.
Okay, at Hot Yoga Home.
At Hot Yoga Home.
Hot Yoga Home. Okay. And
Yoga
Brim 205.
Yes, BRIM and the number's 205.
I'm not going to ask you why not 305.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama, and the area code there is 205.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Immediately if I were you.
Oh, okay.
And you
That's
can
something
reach
to think
me
about.
at loveqigong.com to register for my classes. So we all teach classes, and we're here to let you know that one is not better than the other, that they're all equivalent, they're all different, but they're all similar. So you can study Tai Chi and yoga. You can study yoga and Qigong, and you can study Qigong and Tai Chi. So we want to thank you for listening. For Lester Holmes, Marcus Brimage, and yours truly, George Xavier Love, Tai Yoga USA.
Peace, peace.
Thank you.
This one's still live. Peace to the Tai Chi family.
Good, bro.
One more
Good.
still on.
Oh man.
The bottom left-hand corner.
I know this is for to get to see. This is
Bottom
On the
left.
bottom.
this is the behind the scene
Right
footage.
there.
When you buy the DVD,
That's it.
this is the behind the scene footage.